Hi there, this is Paul Edwards with Danmar Company. How you doing today? Just want to go over some safety first issues. Whenever you're working with a household chemical or a industrial or commercial grade antimicrobial agent, always remember to wear safety glasses, nitrile gloves, and properly mark your container, your vessel that you're going to be using for the chemistry study. Now in this case, what we're doing is we're continuing our dye validation using a pump-up sprayer, and we're focusing primarily on a poultry product that is frozen and a sausage product that is fully cooked, or we'll call it a Weiner, a fully cooked Weiner or hot dog or whatever. And so I've gotten questions in the past regarding frozen product. This is the reason why I wanted to do this. The situation with frozen products is you know, of course, you got to get good coverage, and second of all is you have to separate the pieces, okay? You can't spray them on top of multiple pieces and expect to be able to address maybe potential micro growth in between the pieces. So it's a key element to spraying a frozen product, is you've got to separate it from the other frozen products to have separation or even saturation of the surface area. And the reason why I use the word saturation is because in many camps for where there's antimicrobial agents, they seem to feel that the word saturation is a cover-all or one-all, handles every possible question could exist. And I personally think that you have to go on and have a good understanding of the volume. So if you go to our video determining saturation, it gives you an idea of what kind of volume measurements you should have in order to guarantee that you've got coverage, okay? The other thing I want to emphasize is that the nozzle tip on these pump-up sprayers are variable. So basically what you could do is you can open it or close it. If you close it, remember that old righty-tighty, lefty-loosey? Okay, so basically this is what we're doing, is righty-tighty, lefty. So righty means that you're lowering your flow rate, and lefty means you're opening up the flow rate. So that's the other reason why it's a nice idea to determine your saturation rate in volume based on amount of seconds, seconds that it takes, or minutes that it takes to fill a known volume. And also you would need to know is you would want to document that so that whenever you look at your antimicrobial intervention, you can go on and take a look and see what the actual volume was to get a microbial reduction. Okay, so that's very important in validation now, becoming more important. So what I've done is I've put dye into this. This is a dye that you can buy through Danmar. It's a FDA, USDA, NSF approved dye. It's a marking dye. I diluted it approximately out of the container 1 ounce by 3 ounce. So that's the kind of conversion ratio, 1:3 ratio or 1:4 ratio. 1 ounce by 3 ounces of water. 1 ounce dye, 3 ounces of water. That's the what I've done here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out loud while I spray this, and this is going to give you an idea of what kind of coverage you can anticipate at a certain amount of seconds. Okay, I've been working with 10 seconds for the last couple of videos on this validation with dye. So I'm going to stick with 10 seconds. I've pumped up my sprayer here. I can feel pressure built up in the sprayer. So hopefully what we can do is we can not make a big mess. Okay. Okay, getting ready to start. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, did you see that? 5 seconds with the volume that I'm at right now, totally saturated that. Do you see that? Saturation there? I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to do this again. This time I'm going to go on and bring this down to almost completely shot. Did you notice that I only turned it maybe 1.5 times? Okay, this is... Wow, it's even on the other side, so that's great. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do 5 seconds here. So I don't think 10 seconds is I think 10 seconds is oversaturation with this spray nozzles. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for there, folks. See, so the dye is clearly demonstrating coverage. Okay, at a 1 to 10 ratio. I mean a 1 to 3 ratio on the dye mixture, and I sprayed it on there. Got complete coverage. That's what we're looking for from a pump-up sprayer to accomplish that kind of coverage. Okay. You can see it's a mess. That's okay. This is what we're looking for. So we've got that piece of chicken there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll over here to a weenie. Okay. This time, with what I'm seeing here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend going to 2 seconds on this weenie, maybe 1 second. So here you go. We're going to start with the weenie. I'm going to move this up closer, get a better look at this here. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, there you are, bam. Wow. Forget the 10 seconds, folks. Pump up sprayer, you can do it with 1 second. 1, 2, boom, there you are. Okay, so here we are. I mean, there's just no doubt what we're seeing here. So that's what I was hoping for. We're getting what I was hoping for, so that's good. I'm moving my dye so I don't drop it and create a bigger problem than I already got. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan away, and I'm going to turn this round a little bit so you can take a, right down here. Okay. Okay, here we go. If you're an OLASTI customer, I have online a cheat sheet on how to go on and do a dye test through the OLASTI. So basically what you can see, we got some good coverage. This here looks to be the area that may not have such the density of discoloration. Density meaning thick discoloration. I'm going to put a untreated poultry product right next to it. Untreated weenie. Okay? And I'm going to go on and get in real close so you can see that. Just want you to get a real good idea of what we're looking at here. Okay, here you go. Okay, I want you to get a real good look at that chicken part there. See that dye there? I'm here to tell you that even if it's lightly colored, like that one is right there, it is. Here, let me go back in there. Get in real close. You see how that's even lightly colored? That right there is significant to give you microbial reduction. Same here. And Danmar did a study in the past with a lab in San Antonio where we actually showed that if you had a surface that was untreated and you made contact with a surface that was treated, that you would have micro reduction on that surface that was not treated. Okay? So I want you to know that study's there, that supports you. And then look at that weenie. Okay, if we hadn't done the dye test, there would be no real convincing data that a 1 second, almost completely tightened down flow rate would get that. And once again, I want to emphasize that by determining your saturation rate, you've got a connection between the volume that's coming out of that nozzle at 2 seconds or 1 second, because that point of application to each spot was less than a second, right? We went 1, 2. Okay, well, it was there for a long time at 1 if you consider 0 to 1 second being a long time. And this is what we're talking in terms of, is a 0 to 1 second. Is that a long time? Yes, it is when we're talking about microbial reduction and we're talking about saturation. Okay, so 1 second is a long time in these systems, okay? And the dye confirms the concentration, the application. You know, some people will say, hey, wouldn't it be better if I made it all blue? Sure you would. And that's the reason why a lot of these spray cabinets and a lot of these plants, you know, just spray back and forth for at least 2 or 3 seconds. The chemistry is not that expensive, not as expensive as having a positive on a micro count, you know. And a couple of things to consider, folks, and I've already been cautioned a couple of times, is it's not good to deal with not normal occurrences, okay? What's happening right now that's considered a normal occurrence is the fact that we have retail outlets have inspectors, city inspectors coming out to retail and outlets and pulling a grab sample and then measuring it for pathogens, okay? That's starting to happen, folks, because of a bunch of reasons, and I'm not going to go into the details. So while there in the back of your mind, you may have a concern that, you know, you're a retail establishment buying your product could very well be tested by a city official for pathogens. While that's a possibility, the best thing to do is get great coverage, okay? And then you get your Salmonella Performance Challenge. You've got your Listeria Performance Challenge just by your normal regulatory officials, and then you have your Campylobacters coming on board. We've got these other non-0157H7S techs. We have these organisms that are becoming more challenging for us to address, and so good saturation is very important. Well, as always, if you have any questions or have any emails or anything that you want to send me, contact me at danmarco1@msn.com. Let me repeat, danmarco1@msn.com, or you can visit my website, www.danmarco.net. That's danmarco.net, or you can call me directly at 817-822-5767. Thank you very much.